the only reason you're creating something in marketing is because of past data, I think you're wrong.
If you're the CEO of a company,
right,
you had better be.
Oh my gosh.
Let's talk about like what drives you. How did you become the CEO of this company? Why did you want it? What keeps you up at night? Paid ads don't necessarily work without organic content.
That's right.
You want people to trust your brand. You want people to buy your product or your service. You've got to...
Wow.
Right? Yeah. Without that, the ads won't work. We have to understand, like, what's the end goal? Hey, everybody. My name is Christine Penner-Diaz, and this is Meredith Karcher, and this is CTRL+ALT+EVOLVE.
Hi, welcome to CTRL+ALT+EVOLVE. I'm Meredith Karcher, and this is Christine Penner-Diaz. And today we thought we would do something different. We are going to play a game. And because my memory is not that great, I have a fancy-dancy piece of paper here. And we're going to play the Marketing and Communications This or That edition. So stay tuned because we will definitely have some opposing views on these topics. I'll read the topic, then you can go. And then I'll go, and then you'll go, and I'll go, and all that good stuff.
Oh, so it sounds like so much fun.
I know. So let's dive in.
All right.
First one, this or that. Long-form blog post or short, punchy social post? Yeah. Marketing, comms, we know.
You're going to hate me. Both.
Yeah.
I think if you're going to do a really great blog post, you're going to want to promote it. And the best way to do that is with these great, punchy, short social media posts, except on LinkedIn. I think on LinkedIn, you should definitely do something a little more in depth. But yeah, it's both for me. Sorry. That's okay. It's interesting that you bring up LinkedIn. You'll hear about LinkedIn constantly from me because that's one of the two channels that I use pretty often in my life and my career. So I would probably say both. I think my real answer is it depends, which is kind of a cop-out. But yes. For me, it depends. And I think if we were going to use a corporate buzzword, I would say, omni-channel. Oh,
omni-channel.
Stop that.
Well, we'll do a buzzwords thing. Maybe next.
Disruption.
I know. Let's leverage something and circle back, right? Yeah. Okay. Next, in-house marketing team or agency support?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
And I think it truly depends on a number of factors.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Number one, who's your in-house marketing team?
I know.
Are they creative?
Yeah.
Are they able, how many are part of the team? Are they able to pull off the kind of campaign that you need? Or is it a small team? They might not have the experience, or they're like the best team in the world and you don't need an agency, right?
Right.
So agencies for me, where corporate is concerned and where they already have a marketing team are really it can go one of two ways. They could be the lead with the creative, the creative strategy and everything behind it because, these guys live. Let me take that back. Not these guys. These people, this group of people who work at these agencies live for like pushing the envelope beyond, right? I mean, unless you give them exclusive directive not to because you're financial services or something, they might be able to come up with something that your team might not be able to come up with, right? Yeah. Because they aren't constantly being told no by corporate.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
Ouch.
Yeah. Well, no, it's true. Like corporate always does so much pushback to their internal teams. Right. But then once they hire an agency, they're like, these guys are these people are so smart. Look what they came up with.
Right.
Meanwhile, for the past 18 months, you've been saying no to your team because, we can't do that.
Right.
No, that's not our brand.
Yeah.
Right. So it's a tough one for me, but, I like agency.
Yeah.
Maybe because I'm an agency. Oh my God, I'm so biased.
Yeah. No, you're not biased. I think you presented both sides really fairly, to be honest. And the one thing that I'll point out that you've already said, and I'll just say it my way, I guess, is that for agency, to use an agency, I would use that on like a product launch when you really need something and you need something different to the point that you don't want to rely on people that have been too close to it.
Like some crazy experiential marketing like Saul Colt.
Exactly.
Oh my God, that guy's crazy amazing.
Yeah, he is. I do follow him, and I follow him because of you, actually.
Oh, it's all my fault.
That's good.
That's a good tell you? So we were at Pod Camp, Cami Pham and I.
Oh my gosh!
Right, and Saul was presenting at the same time that we were presenting.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So of course, like in the middle of our presentation, there's like this giant picture of Saul Colt telling our audience to tweet him while he's presenting and saying that, it was the best move. He got like, I don't know how many, he got like 30 messages, 40 messages from the people in our session.
Right.
While he's presenting.
Wow.
Right. Yeah. And like he was laughing the whole time. He thought it was funny. I think he did. God, I hope he remembers it was funny. I hope he's not mad at me now for bringing this up.
Doubt
but yeah, like things like goofy things like that. Like someone in corporate might have thought of doing that and brought it to their leadership, and their leadership is like, that's not on brand for us. But if the marketing agency brought it, they'd be like, we're paying these people like $100,000. This is a great idea.
And that's the other thing. Yeah. The money. And I find that with when you go for an agency, I feel like companies are more likely to accept because they see the money. Here's the money that we paid, and here's what it's doing. Yeah. Right? Yeah, I agree. No, that was a good one. All right, next, traditional press release or social media announcement.
All right. I'm just going to go through all of these in a way that you're going to hate, because I can't do this or that, because working with comms people and working in marketing, we have to understand, like, what's the end goal?
Absolutely.
Right? If we're doing a press release, it's a big deal.
Yep.
So we want as many eyes on it as possible.
Yeah.
So you use social media to support it.
You do. But let me say this. I'll say this. Do we want to do a press release for everything? No. Yeah. So we agree on that. Yeah. We totally agree on that.
And there are possibilities where you might roll in 2 announcements into one press release.
That's
right.
Correct. Yeah.
Because like they're not big enough to stand on their own.
Yeah.
Or one's really big and one's really small, so it'll be like a little side note in the PR.
Yep.
And that's cool, right?
Yeah.
But like you're right, not everything is going to have a press release. But if we're doing a press release, both.
Yeah. And so with press releases, I kind of push the boundary on them a little bit, and because I don't know, I'm a content and brand aficionado. I want to embrace the brand. I want others to embrace the brand, the product, the situation, unless it's crisis comms, of course, then no. But I have even put in details about social media accounts in reference to a campaign in a press release. Yeah. And probably when I started in marketing, that never would have been done. It would have been, the press release has to be, we're announcing this and this is what's happened and here's our media contact, and that's it.
Yeah. So, well, when I was working in corporate, I pushed and only a little bit, because Rula, we talked about her in another podcast, I'm sure. She was a fantastic leader, and she brought me on because like I was doing crazy things in social at the time. Right. So she's like, yeah, let's include these. And, the comms manager at the time, Karen Moore, oh my God, what a lovely lady. I love her. She was the director, I think, of comms. She went for it too. Yeah. She was all about it. She's like, let's do it. So I was very lucky in that sense that the 2 people that were like in leadership at that time were open to the idea.
That's fantastic.
And this is enterprise. We're talking about an enterprise software, like software as a service, which you never see that stuff.
Oh, I
right?
know. I know.
You know that.
Yep, sure do.
So yeah, I thought it was awesome. So yeah.
Hey, you were doing big things before big things were being done.
Yeah, and now I'm just kind of like...
You're still doing big things.
Now I'm just sitting back.
Not true. Moving on. Yeah. Brand voice, professional and polished, or casual and conversational?
Who's the brand?
Yeah, exactly.
If the brand is me, it's going to be stupid. If the brand is TD Bank, then maybe, and it depends. TD Bank what?
Exactly.
Are we talking like
big green
white
comfy
glove?
chair?
Yeah.
Yep.
We're talking exactly the big comfy chair,
Yep.
right? Or are we talking like white glove premium service, right? They're both going to have two different voices and it's one brand, right? So like we really need to consider that. So I can't say either or.
Yeah. No, I would say that too. But I will tell you that personally, I tend to lean towards less formal communication. And I only do that because if I'm talking to humans and my audience is humans, I need to be human.
Hey, that's my saying.
Yeah.
It's not B2B, it's not B2C, it's H2H.
Oh, nice.
Right? So like it's always, it's on my website, dude.
Put it on a t-shirt.
Why? You need to visit my website more.
You know what?
You're doing.
I did. And we'll talk about that in a later episode too.
God.
No, it's good.
Okay.
It's good.
I was like, oh my God, there's going to be like these major critiques. By the way, the shoemaker seldom has his own shoes, right? Like he's always busy working. So if it's crap, it's not my fault.
So who might critique your website? No way. Let's move on.
Yeah, let's do that. Fine.
This is a good one and relevant. Email newsletters or podcast content. We're doing a podcast.
I've been doing so well without swearing and I almost dropped the F-bomb, I swear. Okay, so email newsletters or podcast.
Yeah.
I feel like they serve two different.
They do.
Serve two different purposes.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Well, yeah, no, you're right.
Sometimes.
Okay, so for our podcast, we're sending out an email.
Yep. Sure.
Right? Yeah. And every email will have news and what we're up to, including our fabulous fashion. Don't quote me on that.
Well, you know what? I'm going to sidebar for a second here.
Yeah.
And we'll, again, have to talk about this in the future. So I love where newsletters are going.
They're so great.
They actually, are you being sarcastic?
No.
Okay, because I do love them. I love where they're going. Where they came from, not so much. Traditional newsletters that are 15 to 20 pages long are a no-go for me.
No, that's
newsletters like, do you read HubSpot's The Hustle?
I do.
Don't you love how they have single sentences and then just links?
I think it's awesome.
That's the attention span of people nowadays.
Obviously, yeah. Thanks to TikTok, Instagram, whatever. But like even for one of my clients right now, like we launched a newsletter. Launched a newsletter for them about a year ago, and they're in a very specific space where they might need like venture capital or whatever. What we learned is that the people in that space, the venture capitalists, don't always have time to check the posts that go out on the various or the articles that are consistently written in like top tier magazines because so much news comes out in that specific realm, right? Mm-hmm. So when we tie it up really quickly in a cute little newsletter with images and links, they love it. Yeah. The feedback is amazing.
I love that
and
too.
They keep reaching out to the leadership of the client saying these newsletters keep us really well informed and whether we want to continue with investing or not. And that is a home run for me.
Right.
Plus, like we hit 2,000 followers in a year, subscriptions in a year for that specific newsletter.
Awesome.
Yeah. So like,
I love that.
I'm like,
yeah, definitely. Pat on the back, high five. Hello. Definitely. But there's also something to be said about podcasts. Like podcast portable media, that's a thing.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
Reach your client where they are.
Absolutely.
Or the end user.
Yeah. And if they're at the gym, okay.
Yeah, they're
not reading a newsletter.
No, if you're at the gym, you better be watching us. Like, what are you doing that's better than watching us? Jeez, working out, sweating. Look at me.
I also need to get to the gym, by the way. We have to move on. You're cracking me up.
Are you crying?
Yes, I'm about to. Organic reach or paid ads?
Depends.
Yeah.
Combination of both.
Yeah.
Listen, paid ads don't necessarily work without organic content.
That's right.
Right? So like let's talk about let's dive into this a bit. You need an engaged audience to continue to have more people follow, like, comment, share, buy your product, right? Whatever that is.
Right.
The ads are great, but they can't stand alone, right? even for websites, like even with Google Ads, like you need the content that speaks to what your product or service is, what it does, and who it's for. And without that, the ads won't work. If you have a blank Facebook page or a blank LinkedIn page or no catalog if it's retail, where are you going to get clients from?
Yeah.
And something that's never changed, and I just want to mention this briefly, is that purchasing happens only after trust happens.
That's correct.
Right? And it doesn't matter if it's a big ticket item or a small ticket item. If I don't trust the brand, I'm not buying it. So like, how are you going to build trust without organic content?
Right. That strong foundation. That's something I've always said.
You're building a house.
Yeah. You have to. Yeah, we will definitely have to talk about websites later. Websites you built, websites I built.
Yeah. We won't compare them. We definitely won't show images.
Oh, no.
No
Absolutely
images.
not. No images. Blur them all. All right, next. AI-generated content or human-crafted storytelling?
Human.
Yeah, totally. 100%. But, as you know, I may use topics from AI.
Or even just like as a thesaurus.
Yeah. Or M dashes. I'll use M dashes.
Yeah, M dashes are awesome. Look, I get caught up sometimes with words. You know, even when I'm talking, I don't know if you've noticed, like I have to stop and I'm like, what was the word? And it looks like you know, that window circle is going on in my brain where everything's failing and like it's not restarting.
Thinking.
Or like the GPS recalculating. That's my brain. So, you know, in those moments where I really can't think of the word I want to use, then, you know, I type in the idea and I get the word, right? So like, it's brilliant for that. Like tasks that, you know, take time that you just need fast. Like, that's awesome. But I don't like it for content. I definitely don't like it for websites. And specifically because you get hit on your SEO. Like, you get knocked down on your SEO if you use AI on your website.
Definitely.
So, like, that's something to really consider.
No, I agree. The penalties, I'll have to look into that a little bit more. I haven't really done that. But because I don't do much website development. I do some content on websites right now, but not much. I really want to look into that. And then also GA4, which we will have to talk about, analytics. Great.
What an exciting topic. Analytics.
All right. Video content or infographics?
Oh,
Depends.
Yeah, like you're asking like these, you have like these great topics, but the problem is both.
Yeah.
Depends.
Yeah.
What are you doing with the infographic, right? Okay, so let's start with video. People love video. They consume more video now than ever before.
Right.
Short, quick, done.
Right.
They get the point. They know what's going on. Good headings, finished, happy. Right? And even LinkedIn is increasing its...
I know.
Its algorithms are working better for like video.
For video, yeah, I agree.
So video is fantastic. Could you make the infographic a video?
Maybe.
Because like infographic videos do very well.
Yeah, you could. And there's a lot of vector graphic videos that stem from infographics. Yeah. I think for me, it would also be both because, you know, as part of a campaign, why wouldn't you link an infographic to a video or a video to an infographic, vice versa? Yeah. So yeah, to get more information.
I think that's awesome. I don't dislike one or the other. I think they're both great.
Next, this one should be easy. Memes and marketing or keep it serious?
Come on, you know
so
what
easy,
answer.
so easy. Yeah.
Absolutely means memes and marketing, but with a caveat.
Yeah.
Right?
The caveat.
The caveat is it needs to be relevant.
Right.
It needs to be relevant to your business.
Right.
It needs to be something your audience is going to understand and connect with. Yeah. Like no random shit.
Right. Or something from like 20 years ago that people aren't going to get.
My first curse.
What?
Yeah. I just dropped the SH word.
I didn't even hear it.
My face instantly went.
Oh my gosh.
Right. So, and I'll give you some examples.
Yeah.
Real estate agent. Okay. There's some really great memes out there. You know, you have, let's say, okay, here's one. There's a cat, right? And she has like 10 kittens and she's looking to upgrade. And you see a cat with all her kittens in a dollhouse.
Right.
right? That's a cute meme that relates to like upgrading.
Yeah.
And that might work for some of the real estate audience, right? Like you have to know your audience before posting memes, by the way. Know your audience.
That wouldn't work on me.
I think it's the cutest thing ever. And I'd be like, I want to boop their noses.
No, I don't know. That wouldn't work on me.
I guess you're not envisioning it properly, Meredith.
I'm not envisioning it properly. Okay. Oh my gosh. Company-wide town hall updates or targeted team updates?
Look, town halls, especially when you're announcing successes, is awesome.
Right.
Right? Like, if you're the marketing team and you just pulled off the biggest win, you want the whole company to know you did it.
For sure.
Right? Now, if we're talking about like small wins or like maybe a loss here or there, let's just do a targeted like team update and like, hope that it just goes away.
Yeah. And I would agree with what you're saying in terms of successes. Like for me, town halls they're a broadcast, and I would want to broadcast the success.
Yeah.
If it was not so great news, I'd probably send an email company wide. Yeah. But I'd probably send an email.
Who's going to read it?
Well, I don't know. But yeah.
I'm not.
Crickets.
I'm like, oh. I'm sorry. I hope I didn't offend anybody.
If you have to go to town hall, then you'll listen, even if it's bad news.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're there. And what are you going to do? Like, fall asleep, which I may have done.
I was just gonna say, please do not challenge me to answer that. But okay, so have you attended a town hall that's been bad news?
No, they've all been good news.
Okay,
and I think that's strategic, and I think that's important to know. Right, even when we'll go back to that corporate setting that I used to like work in.
Sure.
I guess I did something amazing. I can't remember what it was.
There are probably many amazing things.
This is why I forget things. Because there are just so many. How dare you burden me with these questions?
I'm not worthy.
No, it was just, I can't remember what it was. It was a big deal though. And everybody else thought it was a big deal. But like me, I'm like,
I'm just doing my job.
I'm just doing what you wanted me to do.
Oh my gosh.
So anyway, they did this like global town hall. Like, so everybody in Canada, everybody in India, anybody in the States, everybody knew. And it was being broadcast live, right?
Were you in it?
I was in it.
Oh
so like the screen comes up and there's my analytics and my KPIs and the data. And I'm standing there like, hi. Right? 'Cause like, I don't want to be there.
Yeah.
behind the scenes. So yeah, you know, I think that that's important. And the thing about it though, the success of the town hall was afterwards for years. Like while I was at that company, people would be like, you're amazing. You're a genius.
That's cool.
You know?
Yeah. That's a good feeling.
Yeah. Especially when you're suffering through like corporate self-confidence issues.
Right.
Which happens.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
So when people are like, you know your stuff, like I love what you did with this, or I remember when, right? And I'm like, oh, get out of here. You remember that? Like that's cool. Thanks. And it just kind of boosts you a bit.
Yeah.
But also like you are proud that you did X for company Y, right? Yeah. And it always stays in the back of your head, like, oh my God, I remember I pulled off this really crazy thing for this company, right? And you're like, and they did a town hall about it. Like that's cool. Not now, because I don't remember anything. Because, like I said, it's like the windows.
Hanging.
Is it an age thing? Menopause? I don't know.
I don't know.
Anyway, so yeah, I can't remember anything.
I do like the concept of being recognized outside of being potentially just mentioned in a newsletter, something flat or static.
Yeah.
I think it's more dynamic. So I definitely get that. I can appreciate it. Okay. Next, data-driven marketing or gut-feeling creativity?
Data-driven marketing.
One of the worst, my most hated buzzwords. I hate data-driven. You know what I like?
What?
Data-informed.
Ooh, I like that better.
Data-informed. I hate data-driven. I love data-informed.
Let's start a movement.
Yep.
Okay, data-informed.
This, data-informed.
Yeah, I like that.
Not this, data-driven.
Yeah, I don't know why you don't like it, but I like the alliteration of it, data-driven.
Oh, just because I feel like marketing
that consternation
is so much more holistic than just data, looking at data. If the only reason you're creating something in marketing is because of past data, I think you're wrong.
I agree.
Yeah.
But I think the data is important. It's a supporting feature, right?
So you use it to inform what you're doing.
Exactly.
Don't let it drive you.
No. The drive is creativity.
Yeah.
Right? So I see where you're going with that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
So we have to change the whole
we
phrase
agree on
now.
this one.
Oh my gosh. Really?
Oh my God.
Oh
Wait,
my
did
gosh.
we agree? Did
Really?
We agreed on a lot of them, though. I'm surprised.
We did, but you definitely have different perspectives and points, which is good. No, it's good. It's good.
I'm different.
You're different.
I'm going to cry.
You're different. In a
You know
good
what?
way.
You know when they say people are different, it's not really a good thing, right?
In a good way. All right. Personal branding, brand building, or corporate brand focus. I think I know what you're going to say to that.
That's really hard because, like, what are we talking about? Like,
yeah, it's kind of vague, actually.
It is, yeah. So I think if you're the CEO of a company,
right,
you had better be working on your personal brand.
Oh my gosh, yes. And I've seen a big surge in that, especially on LinkedIn.
Yes.
You know, my favorite platform that I never stop talking
I
about.
know.
Yeah,
they should be paying you at this point.
Honestly,
like, how do you not have
yes,
stocks?
LinkedIn, please.
No. Yes. Yeah, no, I feel like if you're the CEO of a brand, a company, whatever, you need that personal marketing. I think it's really important. I think I hit the microphone, forgive me. Because I'm Greek and my hands are all like, so they're in your shot. I'm gonna hold them here.
Okay. Do your pose.
I'm posing. So you better be talking about you.
Yeah.
Like your thought leadership drives the brand.
Right.
What you're doing outside of work. Right. And I don't mean like I'm going out for pizza with the kids today. I mean, some CEOs do that and they kind of tie it back to work. But I mean, let's talk about like what drives you.
Right.
How did you become the CEO of this company?
Right.
Why did you want it?
What keeps you up at night?
What keeps you up at night?
Yeah.
Because people can relate to that, right? Like, what keeps you up at night?
Yep.
Okay, I know that I have to do this, and this. I have to achieve this budget or whatever. And everybody else in the world is going, oh my God, me too.
Right.
Right. And again, this takes us back to that whole building trust thing. You want people to trust your brand. You want people to buy your product or your service. You've got to build the trust and it's got to be human.
Yeah.
Right? It's not, no matter whether, again, if it's B2B or B2C, that human element needs to be constantly present.
And that will never be an AI thing. I don't care what anybody says, no matter how much those large language models evolve, it is never going to replace it.
Well, I certainly hope not. I really don't know. Like, we've come a really long way in a very short time, so we don't really know what that evolution is going to look like.
I don't want it to happen.
Yeah, I'm good with that. I don't want it to happen either.
I don't.
You are not allowed.
No.
Right. We don't want the singularity to happen. Right. Like that. Right. We need to make sure that AI never becomes human.
Yeah.
And humans never become robots.
That's true.
Right. So, sorry, that's my sci-fi hat.
I kind of like that.
Yeah, I know, right? Like the
dance.
Break dance.
Okay. I'm only going to do one more. There's more questions, but the last one really gets me. Keeping up with trends or sticking to what works?
I hate both of those.
I hate both of those too.
Oh my God, thank you.
Yeah. There's a middle.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I love trends. I don't know if I like what works. Right? Because like, what are you doing then?
Right.
Just the same old stuff over and over again?
Well, you're data driven when you're doing what works.
No, I don't know if you are. Because at some point you're going to notice that it's not interesting anymore.
Right.
So where's the data point there?
I feel like the best example of trends, it was years ago, and I think that's around the time that we officially met. I invited
human
you
beings
to an event, although we had seen each other in our circles.
Right. Because I used to be like this itty bitty tiny little influencer. I keep hitting you. You weren't.
You're bigger. You're bigger than you think that.
I don't know if I was, but anyway, that's what I meant.
Yeah, but there was a trend going on, and what really is cringe for me is with trends is when corporate brands do them when they just shouldn't, when they're already over. Oh my gosh. How many times have we seen that? The Ice Bucket Challenge is what I'm referring to.
Jeez.
Did that go on forever and far too long,
Way
or
too
what?
long.
Yeah, yeah,
I love the premise.
yeah.
And I love that it was being done
Me
for
too.
charity.
For charity, yeah.
And specifically that charity.
Right.
But like, why couldn't it just die?
Yeah. It needed to be done.
Yeah. They were beating a dead horse for a really long time with that.
It was tough. But then on the other hand, and this is the last part, the last thing I'll say, sticking to what works. If I could have $1, a loonie, because we're in Canada, for every time someone said, well, we've always done this, or I've been doing this for 20 years. If I could have, I mean,
the death of marketing in that, like in those tiny little sentences.
I know.
I've always done it this way.
Right.
Marketing dies.
I've always
instantly,
done it.
like RIP, like done.
Yeah.
No, that's like stupid.
I know.
Marketing should always be about, I'm getting preachy. Okay, sorry. I'm gonna stop myself, but I will say creativity is important.
Yes.
Finding ways to like connect and engage with your audience, important.
Right.
None of that is, we've always done it this way.
Yeah.
You know, no, stop.
I agree. I agree.
Right? Like, no, it's not okay. And I don't know. I'm so annoyed by that. That sentence alone.
I know.
You don't know how mad that made me. Like, I'm ready to like cut a bitch.
Well, it's good that you did it again.
Oh my God.
So you know what? Speaking of stopping, I'm going to ask you to close us out.
Oh, okay. Well, now I'm on the spot. What do I say? Hi, thanks for joining CTRL+ALT+EVOLVE, and we'll see you next time with like hopefully better content. We want to thank the Road Crew Media Productions team. Oh my God, he's been filming us laughing and talking like idiots for like 20 minutes.
I was looking at what's happening.
Also, Rainy Turpin, who did a fantastic job on our makeup.
Yeah.
And you should hire her, by the way. She's like...
Definitely.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
So, okay, bye.